Batu, how are you,
Hi,
man?
Batu.
I'm great, Andy. How are you? I'm so excited today. It's my first time. And
Really?
honestly, yes. Honestly, finally getting a chance to meet you face to face means so much to me.
You're wearing the
Thank you.
flash ring.
Well, thank he did.
Yeah.
He sent me
Yes.
the Batu-san the
Yeah.
ring.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
so glad you like it, Andy.
fantastic. And the one and the other one, the one with the film reel is incredible. Thank you, man.
I'm so happy with that. I'm ready for questions. We'll welcome to the Derry series, have a connection with the previous it films. I'm thrilled to see how it fits into the overall story.
Well, Welcome Today is a prequel, so it tells the story of the people that were before all the characters that we like, all the characters of It 1 and 2. And yeah, it's an origin story. In the big picture, is an origin story of It and Derry and the lives and struggles of the people who lived in Derry before.
And it happens 27 years before our first film, which was in 1989. So this season happens in 1962.
This is really exciting, and this the context revisiting Pennywise for the series is very intriguing. So, when revisiting Pennywise, which aspect of the character are you highlighting differently compared to the films?
Well, there's a bigger arc in the story that we cannot talk about yet, but it's basically the development of this character throughout like a bigger story. It's in the past. There's a reason why we're telling the story backwards, and you will see a lot of new things, new ideas, and new traits from Pennywise. Even though his MO is always the same, we'll get to understand more what is it and why he does why it does what it does.
This way, the horror and tension in the series seems like it will be even stronger.
But it is true. It's quite intense.
The series is set in the 16s. What were your main source of inspiration when recreating that era on screen?
Well, inspiration from the book, like they always like we go back to the book because it's the big inspiring source. And if you for people who read the book will notice that it happens in the first part of the story happens in 1958. We adapted our movie in 1989, which is a bunch of years later. But now that we're telling the origin story, we jump back to 1962, which is very much closer to the original events. So a lot of the inspiration of this world comes from the original book when the book tells the main story, and then we draw inspiration from the climate of the era. A lot of the fears of kids and adults come from things that were part of the life of people in America in the 1960s. So we see, America is in the middle of a Cold War, 1962. So a lot of kids are, rightfully scared of a nuclear event. And it happens, you will see in the series, it happens over and over. And there's this character, Bert the Turtle, who is basically a made-up character that teaches the kids how to survive a nuclear attack, which is funny because,
Yes.
but anyhow, you see how like the set of fears of a kid in the 60s is very different from the fears of a kid in the 80s or the days that we're living now. Yeah.
And the kids swear a lot less in the 60s than they did in in the 80s.
It's really impressive. Seeing that date in such detail will be enjoyable. Well, something I'm really curious about. How did you work with the young actors on set to help them handle the dark and psychological themes?
A lot of talking, a lot of preparation. The same way, I did it in the movies. When you have like a young actors that don't necessarily know the history, you have to sit down and talk not only about the arc and through lines of the characters, but also about the context, the social and political context of the era and behavior. And I think, but always, when cast, it's always the same. There's always a preference for actors that are like naturally talented and they take their job very seriously. So we had a great like working relationship, and it all starts with conversation and it ends up with conversation.
I see.
It starts with a lot of conversation, but also, well, it's up to them at the end. It ends up with them like finally executing all they know and everything they processed on the screen. And I'm very happy with all of them. They did a great job.
we never underestimate kids, you know, and especially the kids we work with and we cast. They're incredibly sensitive and aware children. So you just explain things to them. They'll understand how, you know, our world at that time in the 60s is working. So lucky to work with them.
This approach must have been very important for the young actors. By the way, my 35-year-old friend told me that after watching the first film, he couldn't open his window for 3 months. He asked me to tell you about this.
Well, we're
Yeah.
sorry.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you both so much for your time.
Thank you, Batu.
Talking to you in person has been such an inspiring experience. Can't wait to see what you bring to the DC universe next.
Oh, thank you. We'll
Thank
see about that.
you.